I've got a question for you all. Which fighter got you into UFC? Like, who's uh, who was your just who was that one fighter that just made you fall in love with MMA, with UFC, just in general? I'll tell you mine. Mine is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor made me fall in love with the sport. And look, of course, now look, he's an idiot now. Let's be honest. And the things that he's done, and he's still doing. Yeah. But forget all that. Pretend that never happened. Look in his prime. Like when he when he was big in the UFC, when he first came into the UFC. Look at that time, prime Conor McGregor. That was something else. That was something different. And of course, it's unfortunate what's happened to him now. With all these scandals and other things going on in his personal life. But yeah, man, he was once the face of the sport. Literally, he was once the face of the UFC, and literally, him versus Khabib was my first ever UFC fight I watched back in 2018. UFC 229. Also had like the likes of Tony Ferguson, Dominic Reyes. I'm pretty sure. Victor Louis, Derek Lewis on the card as well. So yeah, it was a decent card that as well, and yeah, Conor McGregor, Khabib was the first ever UFC fight I watched, and that made me fall in love with the sport. And of course he lost that, but it's just like it's trash talking. He was the goat on the mic. He was the goat of trash talking, literally. It's just it always used to be so funny as well. It's like he used to always get he was always just get his opponents like that. Like, it's just he used to always get the fans hyped every single press conference. Sometimes he would literally turn up late as well on purpose and just talk trash to anyone. Like him and Nate Diaz was funny, him and Khabib was funny, him and Aldo was funny even when Aldo couldn't hardly speak English. But yeah, it was great. But I mean, yeah, he lost to Khabib, but don't forget after that he fought the likes of Eddie Alvarez, Nate Diaz twice. He won the first one, lost the second one. Chad Mendes, Dennis Silva, Poirier again, because he fought Poirier the first two times, and he lost the trilogy as well. I think was that the one that he broke his foot. Was that the one? Was that the one he got knocked out? I think that's the one he got knocked out. I'm pretty. But yeah, just prime Conor McGregor. He was something different, man. He was he's not my goat. He's not my goat of the UFC. My personal favorite, my goat is GSP. But man, he was once the face of the UFC. From I would really see from 2015 to 2019, he was the face of the UFC. Literally, just his trash talk, always made fights entertaining, always always hyped up the fights. Literally, remember Jose Aldo as well. That 13-second KO. One of the fastest ever KOs in UFC history. One of the fastest ever. I think it's the second fastest because the fastest I'm pretty sure is Masvidal and who's the other guy? Ben Askren. Yeah, pretty sure that's the fastest not on UFC history, and I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo was the second one. But yeah, something special. But Conor, people are forgetting Conor. He's always stood by his word. When he first even rose onto the scene in for UFC, he didn't care about legacy. He didn't want to be remembered as a Hall of Famer, a UFC Hall of Famer. He didn't want to be like Khabib. Khabib cares about legacy. He didn't want to be like him. He just cared about the money. It was simple, cause that's what he wanted to do. Like he even said himself that I'm gonna get the money. I'm gonna conquer. Then I'm gonna get out, and that's what he's done. He's got out of the sport. So yeah, he doesn't care about his legacy in a way. He only cares about the money. But fair enough to him because look, he's made billions literally in the UFC, being with Dana White, and promoting fights, entertaining fights as well. And you talk about he crossed over to boxing to fight Floyd Mayweather. Wow, what a fight that was! I mean, an MMA fighter, you know, going into a different sport, boxing, to fight one of the greatest of all time, Floyd Mayweather, and doing well against him. I think wasn't that given us a draw? It was either given us, I swear that was given us a draw. I swear that was given us a draw. It was either given us a draw or Floyd won. But yeah, he's put up a great fight against Floyd Mayweather. What a fight that was. But yeah, people forget that, he doesn't care about legacy. He doesn't want to be remembered as a Hall of Famer. He just wanting to get the money, wanting to get the bag and get out. That was it. And he's made plenty doing so, billions. He could retire his kids, his grandkids even, but I don't know if he'll be in prison then. But yeah, I really miss prime Conor McGregor, man. I really do miss prime Conor McGregor. But yeah, who which UFC fighter got you into the sport? Which fighter got you into the UFC and got you into just MMA in general? Man, it was Conor McGregor. I want to hear yours down in the comments below.